Oh, we are live. Welcome.
Welcome,
Welcome to
welcome,
Unstructured.
and unsupervised.
That's us. We are unstructured and
Super
unsupervised.
unstructured. And as you can see, we're super unstructured because, oh, my hair is floppy right in my face. Um, that we are doing our own time today. We are launching earlier than we normally do. Well, normally we did it once. We did it one time already, so it's
Well,
normal
I
yet.
mean, but yeah, so then different than what we normally do. Yeah.
Right. So we're just when it works out, we make it happen. We're going to a lovely fundraiser later. Um,
Yes,
uh,
for our friend John Ziegler,
yeah.
aka Ziggy. I call him Esteban Badass because I used to listen to the podcast that he was on with like that was done at Govs before the studio was there, like with Trusin and Lori and Mike. I feel like his name's Mike.
Wagner?
No, no. It was definitely a different Mike, but I don't remember the name, and I'm so sorry. But anyways, he played a character on there called Esteban Badass, and it was the exact same character that Ziegler, like it was just John Ziegler, just in ridiculous situations, talking like
Amazing. I love that.
it's like he was a superhero, and then he's just being John Ziegler.
You guys should look him up because he's really freaking funny.
He's really, really
Um,
funny, and he is battling very, very yucky diagnosis right now. So he is beloved in the Long Island community and beyond.
and beyond.
And beyond.
He is. I love Ziegler. I haven't. You're like I call him. What do you call him? Esteban Badass.
Yeah.
I haven't called him anything, not even a phone call lately because I don't know. I haven't reached out, even though I've been like getting the scoop through the grapevine from everybody. But I hope to see him later on this evening and give him a big giant hug if he is open to that.
Me
He'll probably
too.
tell me to fuck off, but he'll be like, "Get
No.
out of here, get out of here, LaMonaco." I'm gonna be like,
He really does that?
"Okay."
No.
No,
No way.
I don't. I'm just being insecure.
Don't be insecure. Uh,
Don't be insecure, girl.
I'm just looking right now. I'm just going. I'm trying to figure out like how I can look at all the comments at the same time, which
Oh,
I'm
are
not
people?
used to doing at all.
Wow, this is gonna be so interesting. You're gonna have to like read what's happening and listen and talk back to
It's a
both of
lot.
us at the same time. I have so much hope and faith in you that you're gonna be able to make that
Thank
happen.
you.
You're welcome.
It's gonna
Um,
be fun.
you're doing it. You're doing it right now. You're doing
I'm doing
it.
it.
You're doing it. You're doing it
Should we
well.
do the Zen
Oh,
moment
it's gonna
again?
be
I
so-
really liked that when we did that last
What?
week. Should we do the Zen moment again?
Yeah,
Reset.
let's do that.
I've got my
Um,
whiteboard. I've got
you
the
got your
markers.
what? Cool,
So
cool.
we
Yeah,
energized. I need to
forgot
set an
that.
alarm.
Set an alarm. Let's do that too, right? You're gonna do it? You're
I'm
doing
gonna
it?
do it. We've been live almost 4 minutes, so
Wow.
that means we have 56 minutes. And
We're so weird.
but like this is just standard. This is like very
Like,
not weird like for either of us.
this is our
Like
normal
this is
conversation.
how I do my life, okay? If you're watching this is how my life is. Everything's like, oh yeah, and then oh wait, did you jump? Oh, okay, hold on. Did I do that? No, I don't think so. Did I? Oh, I'll do it again. It's fine. Everything's fine. I'm a very patient person.
You
What was I
are
doing?
a really patient person. I am not. I get so frustrated.
I sent you the
Um,
link. What was I doing? Oh yeah, I was setting an alarm,
yeah.
and I wanted
That
to
is,
choose.
and we're gonna do a Zen moment
Ooh,
to get
I
us.
chose by the seaside today.
Ooh, be the seaside.
Okay,
By the seaside. Sally sells seashells. Sally Buffett. What did I say?
I'm not sure
Shelly
what you're
sells.
saying. I also have my notebook, and this is
Shelly sells seashells. Sally. That was her name. Sally sells seashells by the seashore. I'm saying Shelly sells seashells by the seashore. That's
Shelly
my two.
should shell seashells by the seashore.
Shelly should
She
sell
should.
seashells by the seashore. She should.
Sally? Are you sure it's Sally?
No, it's totally Sally, but it should be Shelly.
Sally sells seashells by the seashore.
Right.
Shelly
But it,
should sell seashells by the seashore.
yeah. These two could be friends.
Or
I feel like
mortal
Sally.
enemies.
Oh God.
Okay, now I'm ready.
Oh,
I have the
all
alarm.
right.
I've got the things.
We got the comments. We have the faces.
Thanks for watching, Bill. See you watching.
Your face.
My face is my face. I have a very expressive face.
There's so many different facial expressions right now.
I have.
What just happened? You just changed your facial expressions for so many different things so quickly. It was hilarious. Oh, I'm so glad
I gotta watch that one back.
Yeah, it was fun.
I have
Anyway,
many faces.
You certainly do. Both
Faces.
do. It's so funny. Our facial expressions like animate us entirely.
I'm ready. I'm finally ready.
Okay. So we're gonna close our eyes down. We're gonna get like really, really spiritual and shut down.
Spiritual
Okay?
talk. I like being spiritual. It's like
You have to
Right.
make fun of spirituality a little bit too. Like you can't take it too seriously.
Yeah.
Like yes, we're gonna honor the breath that we're gonna take, but like have fun with it, you guys. Not like it's not that serious. So
it's like if you take yourself too like seriously, like what are you doing? What?
I don't know.
I can't even take myself seriously right now. Okay, I'll stop it.
All right, we have to take it a little seriously because
We
we're gonna break.
do need to start. I like having the very minimal structure. It's an hour. Nothing is planned.
And like we don't know what's gonna happen.
We don't know what's gonna happen, and we have a moment of let's just zen.
Let's try and calm. Okay. All right, let's close our
Because we
eyes.
clearly need it.
No, because we do have the power in seriousness, even though you might laugh at me, whatever. We do have the power to control our minds through our breath, because if we can control our breath, control everything else that goes in and out of our body. So, now if we close our eyes down, we bring our hand to our heart center just to feel this space between our chest here, where our heart resonates. We will inhale through the nose and sigh it out through the mouth. Two more. Inhale through the nose. One more. Just take a minute to slowly open our eyes and come back into the present moment. It's so nice because like you could see how erratic we were when we started, and just after those 3 deep breaths, like my body just like
Yeah, I feel
settled.
much more settled.
Yeah,
I definitely
like
opened my eyes too early, and then I started laughing at myself for a second.
That's okay. That's fun. Yeah, so you feel much more grounded now, which is always good. Like it's funny how like we get into these heightened moments of things, and we're like,
Yeah.
"Da, da, da, da," and all we need to do is consciously just say, "Hold on, let me take seriously my breath for 1 second, because it's the thing that keeps me alive. So I should probably take that a
Yeah,
little
you
seriously.
need that. You need that.
Need that.
Definitely need
Just
breathing.
take some breathing and some deep breaths in between to bring yourself back to neutral."
I don't know if I'm ever neutral, but
Never?
I do know that I get very excited when it's like, oh, I'm starting something because it's new and exciting and novel, and that's definitely an ADHD thing that affects me, is the like interest in things that are novel, and because of that, I think that's why I've become so interested in like so many things in my life, because I'm like, oh, what's that? Oh, I want to learn all about that. I must learn all about that. I will focus on this so much. And then I'm like, oh my god, look over there. Let me do that. That's crazy.
That's how I feel about human beings, like people. Like my novelties are like I guess people.
So
Like I love people's
cute.
personalities. I know. I'm like I want to learn everything about you. I need to know how you operate and why you do everything the way you do it. Why? Tell me. I need to know.
I mean,
Then I'm like
I am like that, but I definitely am not that aggressive about it.
no, I'm super aggressive about it. Like I'm like, I want to know why you operate the way you operate. I want to know why it stems from where it stems from. I want to know why you want to change it. I
And you
want to
want
know
to know
everything.
it now?
And I want to know because like I feel like I'm a baby. I'm like a little tiny infant baby sponge that like doesn't know how to be a person on this planet even though I'm 34 years old. So I like want to know how people
Heard.
operate so badly because then there's certain parts of it that resonate that feel like alignment with my soul. And I'm like, oh my God, I really
Ooh.
like that you're that aspect of yourself is something that I could put forth into motion into my own life. Like I like the way that you do that activity. I want to do that now because you inspired me to. What do
Yeah.
you write? What
I
did you
wrote
just write?
soul alignment.
Soul
I like
alignment.
that.
Yeah. Soul
I like that
alignment
a
is
lot.
so great. And it's like when you're not even thinking that hard about it anymore, that's when all the things start to like effortlessly come in. You know, when you put your
Yeah.
mind to a focus or something and you're thinking about it, thinking about it, thinking about it, you either like are manifesting yourself into this oblivion of like, oh, I need it so bad that you end up willing it away, or you just
Hmm.
leave.
Like, how many different kinds of romantic relationships that have been in my life?
So many different things. It could apply to anything. It could literally apply to a remote not working. And the more you're focusing on the fact that like it's buffering, you're like, well, now it's just doing this. But it's like if you take a second and you go, hey, maybe if I just put my focus onto something else for a minute and distract it, like that'll just reset and things will just go back into the way they're supposed to go. And 9 out of 10 times a minute you surrender your thoughts and
Surrender.
go, you know what? You know, when you send a risky text and you're like, oh, I sent it. Should I wait
Oh
by
my
my
gosh.
phone?
I definitely think about my texts very much. Like, it takes me a long time to communicate things to people that are like important because I'm like I must make sure that it is as clear as possible, that I know exactly what I mean, that I there's nothing that can be misconstrued as what I really like, how I really feel. And I mean, it's definitely driven at least one person that I dated. I was like that, and they were not happy with it. They did not have the patience to wait for me to like explain myself. And it sucks because
Yeah.
it's not that I don't want to. It's that I care and I want to make sure that I'm not like bull in a china shop kind of thing
Oh,
going on.
like me. I,
You're like, what
I
is
definitely,
it?
I don't think before I speak sometimes. I feel like I just get information and then it's just like, this is what it is and this is what's coming out. And now, like, you could react, you could have a slow reaction to my quick reaction. That's fine. But I'll wait for your
I
carefully
mean,
thought
that's
out.
good.
I would rather that, but for me, I answer things so quickly. Like I'm like, no, I immediately know how I feel. Like this is it.
I'm
And
definitely not like that. I'm like, I need to think about this for a long time. And actually, when I'm having an argument or something like that, I don't yell. Like, I don't I don't yell. I really kind of freeze and get like very much in my head. I write the most letters. Like, you've never gotten a letter from me, right?
no,
When I want to like tell someone some real shit, I will write a letter. I will wait. I will sleep on it. I will edit it. There will be drafts. And then I'll like send it, or I'll finally be able to say it in a way that's not going to take an hour. But
so you like cut it down, you edit it, and you're like, this is the perfect.
this is yeah, I will regret none of this. This is everything that I feel and what I want to say, like um
Actually, you know what? Now that I'm
yeah.
hearing you say this again, I don't think before I speak, which is this is perfect proof of me calling myself out on my own bullshit. I'm like, I know exactly what I'm saying in this moment. And then I say it. And then I'm like, wait a minute, maybe I'm totally fucking wrong. Hold on, I just thought about it. And then I call myself out. I took a second, something happened last week where I got a text message about something. And I was like, actually, this situation, I need to think about it. And I need to take a day to like process
Oh.
how I really feel about it. But
Now,
if
without
somehow
divulging anything, if you don't want to, like, what would you say is the, like, was it a family member or a friend or work
a work
thing?
it was a work thing, and
Okay.
it was like they sent out a text message, and the information that was in the text message was more or less like just something I
Oh,
needed
I
to,
remember you saying. I remember you talking about this now.
yeah, just needing some time to like think about what might be the best situation or feeling or how I feel about myself in this moment and whether or not that aligns with what I want for myself.
Yeah.
Um,
Now,
because
is that like normal for you to kind of like wait to respond to something like that,
normally
or is it
I'm
because
very
it was work
like you didn't even finish your sentence and I'm already talking,
related?
so like I'm pretty fucking reactive.
Ah! It's cool, man.
So yeah, I guess we could say I don't really think a lot sometimes
I mean,
before I speak because um well wait, going back to what did you just ask me? You said
I was wondering if you normally wait to say things, or if it was because it was work related. You waited.
it depends on the situation. Like if I know that I have if I feel a certain way about you or my friends or something like that, like I know my strong feeling about my people. Like I love you and it's like
I
I
love
also
you.
I love you too, but I also love myself. So now if there's a situation that goes along that is like, okay, Katrina, you call me and there's like, hey, going through this, that, and the other thing today, and I'd really like it if you were to wear purple to the party today. And I was just like, oh man, Katrina, I really respect the fact that you want to wear purple today, and like you want everybody to wear purple, but like I'm just not feeling that today. Like purple's really reminding me of something sad, or it's like bringing me to like something I don't want to
Yeah,
think about.
I would
Like
never ever ask anybody to do that.
I know that. I
It's just funny
literally
because like that's what I'm thinking about. I was like, what would that be like? Like, what can you imagine being that person? Can you?
there's certain scenarios. I mean, maybe not in that sense, but there's certain scenarios where people might ask you to be like, do something that might be out of your comfort zone, is what I'm asking. Or like somebody might offer you
Weddings.
something. Weddings are definitely uncomfortable. Definitely can be at times. But I usually end up having a great time at weddings. But anyway,
Sam.
um,
But they can
the
be
point.
weird. Weddings are
What
weird.
was I saying? What was I saying to you?
I don't
It
know.
was thoughts. What were they?
You were
God.
talking about responding to work.
Oh yeah, no, I'm saying when somebody presents something to you that's uncomfortable, right?
Oh
And you're
yes.
like, oh, okay, well, I don't know. And now you want to like not upset them because
Yeah.
you're uncomfortable. So
I
now you want to
very much don't like to make people uncomfortable.
no. And me,
And
if I'm being honest, I don't really have a problem making people uncomfortable anymore. I used to be a big
I'm
people
getting
pleaser.
used to, and that's the thing. It's like I'm getting used to being like, I don't care how this makes you feel. I will try not to make you feel bad, but like
I
the
do
discomfort that
care.
I feel from trying to not let you feel comfortable, it's
Right.
even worse and lends itself to the problems of like not being able to talk about things,
Correct. And
which
then you shut up and then
is
you don't
very much,
say anything.
yeah,
Exactly. This is a perfect, perfect,
yeah.
perfect point. Is like you say something and now if somebody wants you to do something and you're like, well, I'm a people pleaser. So now I feel like obligated to say yes to this event or say yes to this invitation or whatever. And then the
Yeah.
day comes along and you're like, fuck, I don't feel good today. Like I'm having an oversensory load day. I'm feeling like really overwhelmed with all of my intrusive thoughts. I'm struggling to put on a happy face today, and like now I have to go to this event, and
And sometimes like people like don't even realize how much Like, at least for
Effort.
me, like how much effort and how much like suffering is happening, because it's like I'm not gonna talk about it because I don't want to. And I was just saying this yesterday to several people. It's like I don't want to be the person that's like there's always something wrong, or like there's always something
Right.
happening with Katrina. It's like I know I'm a very
Yeah.
emotional person. I've got a lot of things going on, but it could be worse, people. It could be
Right.
worse. I know
It totally could be.
it's
And
worse over
you
here.
know, and that's where I find coming into these moments where we are having people pleasing and we have to like those are the moments where I'm like, I need to check in with myself before I answer this and fully. 9 out of 10 times when people invite me to something, I'll be like, honestly, I don't know how I'm gonna feel until that day. Like I've gotten
Yeah,
very comfortable
it's
saying
so
I don't know
funny that
how
you
I'm
say
gonna
that.
feel.
I like something that drives my mother crazy is she will ask me like, "Hey, there's this thing coming up. You want to do this?" Or like, "Oh, if you want to." Okay, let me come up with like a specific example, so I'm not doing like something so obtuse. Uh, I have a day off. Uh, 3 weeks from now. Do you want to come up and visit? And I'll say, okay, yes. And then she'll say, what time? And I'll say, it's way too early to determine that for me. It's, uh, I will like tell me if there's a time that would work for you, but
Right. And
really, there's a lot of factors.
but it's so funny though because like if you know that like because our brains the way they operate it's like but if you know that you bought tickets to a concert on 3 months from now like your headspace will be okay.
Yeah, no, like
Like
I need to know when, like if something's in my calendar, I do not like to let people down. Like I like schedule things like this. Like wow, I did 2 weeks in a row.
good job.
Podcast number two. It's a big deal for me. I need
It
structure, but I don't like to let other people down. So if it's in my calendar and it's like okay, I've very much had this on the radar, I will do everything in my power to make it happen, to like not have to cancel for sure.
yeah. See, so this is a kind of related, but like, for instance, I taught a class this morning for yoga of awareness, and I had a new client. It was her first time, and she was so sweet. And I just went in, and this is how I've been teaching my classes now. And you and I have spoken about this um, you know,
Off
on our own,
air.
off the air. Was like being really authentic and intuitive and trusting where you are that day. Like this morning, I was
Yes.
really sleepy. I was tired. I walked into the class and she was like, "Hi, how are you?" And I'm like, "I'm actually really sleepy today." Like
Oh
I
my gosh, I'm also someone that's like I will tell you if you ask me how you're doing, I feel like this pisses people off sometimes. That'll just be like,
it
I
pisses
feel like
people
crap. How are you?
right, but like I got so used to having to like put on a facade face when
Yeah.
I'm not feeling great because it's just been in my DNA of like
Hmm.
working in a restaurant. Like you turn the corner, you put on a
Yeah.
happy face, and now
Customer
you smile.
service. Yeah.
Like that's it. And it became such a normal response for me to mask that. But now I'm realizing when I'm really showing up and being honest with people and saying, you know what? Um, I actually feel that way too, or I'm having a crummy day, or I'm just like, and just being open about it, it's brought an ease to the other person and to
Yeah.
myself because I have put so much pressure on, like, when you're in a business, in a certain type of business, you have to make the people feel comfortable. You have to make the people feel like they're walking into a space that is held perfectly for them. And everybody has
Yeah.
their own way of doing that and having their own way of presenting that and being, professional and being cordial and smiling and happy. And then there's other times where for me with my private clients that I do in my own time, it's like I just want to be really real with you about where I'm at
Yeah.
today. Like soul, this is soul work that we're doing together. If I'm a
Yes.
waitress and I have to do something, I know that I'm just I'm not going to be like, oh, I'm having a shit day today to the person who's eating their
They're
food. You
like,
know what I mean?
I'm
Like,
trying to eat lunch.
right, I'm trying to eat lunch. Like, okay,
Yeah.
fair enough. Like, here, you don't care. Here's whatever. But to be somebody who's sharing space in a yoga setting with these people, I want to be very honest with them about where I am, where I'm feeling, and just go from the heart. Like this girl, like some stuff came up during the session for myself that I was like, you know what? If it's coming up for me right now, I know myself intuitively enough to know that if it's coming up through me right now, chances are that it's
She's also
happening
happy. Yeah.
for this person too.
Right.
So I said, like this, there was a song that was playing, and I said, try and take the words of this song and allow it to be about yourself. Like, don't sometimes we listen to music and we put the focus on like, oh, this reminds me of so and so, or this song reminds me of this one. But very rarely do we take the lyrics and bring them inwardly to look at ourselves with the same kind of love and the same kind of that we do
Hmm.
of other people when we listen to music. So I said, think of your inner child and look at that little girl and think about what she looked like and relate these songs to that inner child. And like we both,
What
started
was the
crying.
song?
Um, uh, I Remember You by Trevor Hall.
I don't know
I
if
could play.
I don't know if I know that one, but I am really bad with names of titles and artists, and it's
Um,
really something I'm working on.
Fantastic. I just saw him. When did I see him?
You said I will
Uh,
remember you, and I immediately thought of the Sarah McLachlan song.
oh God,
It's like
yeah, I
that's
know. He's
sad. That's
last
sad.
Friday. He was so good. It's Can you hear it?
No, but
Uh,
also I would say don't play it because we
uh,
might get muted from YouTube.
yeah,
Yeah.
true, true, true. Well, it's so good, and it's just he's got such a beautiful voice, and he's great. So
Oh.
listen to that song and think of your inner child when you listen to it, if you choose to, whoever's listening. Are people, do you see if the people watch or
Oh,
not?
somebody watching.
All right.
Hi.
I'm like, I don't know
I
if
don't
the
know
comment,
exactly who. I mean,
like,
typically you can't really tell who's watching unless. Oh, just so you know, the text messages, the text sounds coming
coming
through.
through.
Yeah.
See, I don't know how to turn that off. I don't know how to turn,
Is it on your
well, it's
computer?
on Do Not Disturb on my phone, but it's not on my,
Laptop?
yeah, I don't know how to do it.
Hmm.
Removed from dock. I removed it from the dock. I don't know how to get it back now. All right.
How to
Sitting on the
set.
dock of the bay.
Yeah, we'll
How to
figure
sit.
that out later then.
All right. Yeah, we'll do that later. Anyway, going back to what we were saying, we were talking about people pleasing and being uncomfortable in certain situations.
Yeah.
So that was the basis of how we started this conversation. And it's like being okay. Um,
I'm listening.
oh my God, the way the angle, I thought you had no pants on for a second, the
I
way you
definitely
just
have
bent.
pants on. I definitely do.
um,
Just changing my
uh,
chair a bit. There we go.
getting comfortable with being okay with knowing that sometimes what you may say or do might make other people uncomfortable.
Yes.
And it's like we've sacrificed ourselves so much by like holding in what you had said was like, well, then you end up not
Hmm.
speaking because you're pissing people off. And like you think
And
you're
then,
annoying.
like, because people have this expectation of you in terms of behavior, when it's different, people are like, what the hell is this? Like, oh,
Yeah,
this is the truth. All that
right.
before, like, or what you had known, that was all just like
Yeah,
mask.
exactly. So it's fun for me anyway now, because I don't know if I said this to my therapist the other day, that like my dad sold his
Therapy.
restaurant. Yeah, therapy is the best. My dad sold his restaurant
Oh wow.
almost 2 years ago,
Oh yeah.
and it was bittersweet. But like in that sense, it was like I finally am coming into my own now, where like I don't have to be like Nicole Villamonico or like like Nicole this image of this person that had to live up to these shoes that were needed to be filled. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like now I'm in a space where I work with people like me and my boss. I'll call her the owner of the establishment I work at because she doesn't even call me her boss sometimes. She's like, no, I'm the owner. Like I like that. I like her vibe. She's just fucking awesome.
Okay.
She's the coolest. But like
Nice.
her and I, like all day long, like we'll just like she's like, you're an asshole. Like you're an asshole. No, you're an asshole. Like you're an
No,
asshole.
yeah, you're
And
an
we
asshole.
love it. Like there's so much love behind me and her calling each
Yeah,
other an asshole all day
it's like a
long.
term of endearment, even though it's
Yeah, it
confusing for
really
some
literally
people.
is.
What? Why
Totally.
are you doing that?
Why are you calling me that? And I'm like, no, I love it. Thank you. And so like it's fun to be in a space where like you get to just like be yourself and be
Yeah, an
honest.
asshole.
And you're be an asshole. Like, yeah, you're an asshole. Like we're so sarcastic with one another all day. Like she's like, what do you think of this? And I'm like, I don't know. I'll just give her a sarcastic answer, and she'll be like, you're an asshole. So it's fun to be in a space where you have people that
How would
get
you
you,
define assholes?
help you to find your assholes.
I define people who are assholes as just inconsiderate.
Okay.
Yeah. Like I guess when someone's like playing with me like you were just saying, right? Like sarcastic answer like, "Oh, you're an asshole." It's like I guess I would what would I call him instead? Dumbass?
Okay.
Which
I
is
don't
like
know.
kind of this I mean they both have ass in it.
They do both have accident. Like, I don't know. I guess it is it for me. Well, what would be a term of endearment for you then? Like,
A
they're
term of
like some
endearment
people,
for
like
who?
if somebody's calling me an asshole, I'm looking at that as like a compliment.
If someone
Like,
called
I'm
me an
like,
asshole, I get very offended.
yeah,
unless
you
it's
would get
like unless it's like one of my like very close friends and I know that they know that I try so hard not to be an asshole that
well, that's
if
the thing is that that's why it's funny is because like as much as I'm an asshole, like I'm not. Like if you really know
yeah
me, like you know that my intentions
yeah
or why I'm doing it. Like for instance, here's a perfect example. Like I was like, you got to order the stuff. 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 And like a day or
what
two
is
went by, and it was like, can you order the stuff? And she's like, I'll get it. I'll get it. And I'm like, I don't need, I'm like, she's like, I'll get it. I'm like, I'm not worried about it for me. I'm like, it's for you. It's for your business. Like, we need it together. And she's like, all right, God, you're an asshole. Like, I'm like, it's funny. Like, it's not,
I don't know what do people what would you call me?
I would call you, I don't know. I always say that you're adorable. I'm like, oh, you're
I
so
feel like
adorable.
people's nicknames and like things for me are generally very like positive like even like sarcastic. Okay, so like
Well,
here are my nicknames. I have a lot of nicknames.
okay.
um,
I don't look at you and think like you don't give sarcastic answers all the time. Like,
there's
you're
very specific people that I give sarcastic answers to because they kind of like I'll do it when I'm like, this is the best way to reach this person. Like they're gonna understand what I'm talking about when I talk.
right.
Um, so is a big nickname, you know. Lori, Dennis, Tui call me that. Uh, K Money, Tui calls me that. People call me Reese because my stage name. That's not my real name, by the way.
Yes, well,
Should
I
I?
know that. The other
It's not my
people,
real name.
people.
It's not
That's a
difficult to figure out my real name, honestly, because like my brother is like famous, but it's kind of like, well, I don't want. No, it's also
you're
annoying to
you're
spell for people who don't know it. Always annoying to spell and like say, like read it. So Reese is fine because also I got a bit stalked on YouTube when I did YouTube, and I decided, you know what, I'm gonna go by Katrina Reese instead. That will be better. I like that better.
I always call you. I call you by your first and last name 9 out of 10 times when
Katrina
I'm
Reese.
talking. Yeah, like when
Yeah.
I'm talking to other people, I'll be like, oh, I'm gonna hang out with Katrina Reese today. Like,
Some people call me
or
Kat. Like
yeah, I always
previous, like coworkers call me Kat. Like previous ones. Uh, my friend Liz calls me Kay. Uh, Rena, Tina, Trina, Katarina.
Wow.
I get like a whole.
Katarina. You know how many times when I first met you was like, don't say Katarina, don't say Katarina,
I
don't say
actually
Katarina.
don't really like Katarina.
Which
It's not my
I
name.
had
It's
to,
not my name.
that's not my name.
There's
I'm
one
like,
person
hey,
who like would call me that. Excuse me. Hold on. Let me mute
okay.
myself before I start blasting out the.
Oh, there you go.
There we go. It's better.
There you go. Yeah, so many times I would get so nervous. I'd be like, "Oh my God, don't call her Katerina. Don't call her Katerina." I'm like Katrina, 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 Katrina. So
I
I
feel
like,
like I've been called Betch, like with an E, like hey
oh,
Betch.
hi, batch.
Like it's just that would be, I guess, the equivalent to asshole for me.
Okay, I'm into
I
that.
guess I don't
I don't
know.
know. I feel like I wouldn't look at like derogatory knit words as a term of endearment for you. For me, on the other hand, it's like I am an asshole sometimes, and I thoroughly enjoy being an asshole sometimes. Like
I
I'm
mean, like
never
you've
like
never been an asshole to me,
no, because I'm not actually an asshole. That's why
right?
it's like
How did
I
we? I'm trying to think. Like, so we both started doing comedy around the same time.
I think so. I was like 2014, I want to say 2015.
Okay, 2000 and okay, it was my 8 year anniversary recently, so 2013. I feel like
Wow.
you were around that time too, unless
I
it
think
was
it
the
was
next year.
2014.
Okay.
14, I think it started.
Excuse me. And we weren't really like, we didn't like become friends for a while. Um,
No, I don't even really at like the wedding is when we really kind of
oh
became,
yeah.
yeah.
That's so weird to think about. I feel like we probably shouldn't like even go
No,
there. So,
no.
but that is funny because you know what? Actually, I remember now. Yeah, because like we met each other through someone else, and then became friends like that. Like, oh okay, like oh she's cool.
Yeah. Thanks, mutual person that exists in the world. That's enough.
So, anyways, but that because like so then like specifically weird things about me,
I do.
like that I talk in my sleep
You
and
definitely
that
do.
yeah so you didn't meet Sleep Katrina though, right? You
I
spoke
didn't meet
to
Sleep Katrina. I met Sleep Katrina, and she was
yes.
like, she wasn't sleepwalking.
I
She
was
was
having
just
a
like,
dream and talking.
you were definitely talking up a storm. I can't vividly remember exactly what
I remember there
her
was something about a duck and a ballerina.
that sound.
I also remember I also remember one time you admitted to me like, by the way, you totally farted in your sleep. Like, I'm sorry.
I don't think I said it that serious. Was I that serious about it? Like, you totally farted in
No,
your
no,
sleep.
no. I'm saying like it, but it took like a while for you did not tell me this right away. It was
Oh
like
yeah, I
information
told
that you
her
were
after
like,
like we
know,
met.
remember that?
Like
You farted.
after we got close, I was like, you definitely farted in your sleep. Okay, yeah, that's how I said it. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, because I also try really hard to not like fart around people. Like
Right. I mean, it's a courtesy thing to do.
it's a courtesy thing for sure. But there's some people who are like, rip, let it rip. Like,
I know. I wish I could be
I
one of
mean,
them.
even in
Sometimes,
a romantic relationship, I get kind of weird about it.
yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I don't like farting in front of people.
I don't enjoy farts.
Hate it. I like. I don't want to fart in front of anyone ever. Never,
It's
ever.
no. I
Sometimes
mean, okay, don't get me wrong. They're funny. Like
they're really
they're
funny.
ridiculous, but
But like
I
sometimes
don't like
I want
them.
like crop dust. You ever crop dust?
my friend my friend Emily, this was like years and years ago. She called it
Concert.
ready. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on, let me Let me say it. Hold on.
Okay, okay.
She called it click and drag.
Oh,
Like a mouse. Where it's like you fart somewhere. And then you think that you're done. And then you just like carry it, like you bring it back. It's like you went away. I can't. It's always hilarious to me. It's ridiculous. It's one of those things I was
oh
like,
my
oh my
God.
gosh. It's always
Oh, that's
funny to
so
me.
funny. Click and drag. Oh, ooh,
There's a few things
the hand gesture you just did too, with the like when you like click and you drag.
like crop dusting is like I will I will fart. I will fart on these people.
So
Because
one time
fuck these
at
people, like that's
what that
I
is,
can't breathe.
a monster truck show.
Oh my god.
I was farting up a storm in the fucking monster truck rally because it was just like, "Whoa, whoa," and I was like, yeah, no one knows that.
No
No one
one's
knows
gonna notice, and then people are like passing out around you. Wow, those fumes, huh? Those are that's a monster. That is a monster. There are some things though that always just crack me up to like the point that I cry like every time. There's certain things that like if I okay, so if I'm doing a voiceover thing and I need to laugh, it's like hard to be like, all right, laugh on cue, right? Like there are some things like I need to think about. It cracks me up every
Yeah.
time. Um, uh, so one of them is this. It's this. Okay, it's a cockatoo, but it's animated or it's like CGI, and it's in this movie. I guess it's an Adam Sandler movie, and the cockatoo is like taking a shower in a chocolate fondue fountain, and and it's a picture. I found a picture of this cockatoo just like in in the fountain, like and it's like fully covered in chocolate. It's so ridiculous, and I didn't know that it wasn't real when I first saw it. So the first time I saw it, I was like, what the fuck is this?" And I just could not stop laughing.
Oh my God, I
Um,
gotta watch this scene of this movie.
yeah,
Now I
just look
gotta.
up chocolate fondue,
Oh my
chocolate
God.
fondue cockatoo.
Chocolate fondue cockatoo.
Oh my gosh, what else
Shelly
cracks me up so bad that I have to actually. Oh my gosh, there's this show that is on Netflix called I Think You Should Leave, and
Okay.
it's so funny. So a new season just came out. I haven't been able to finish the season because I can't get past this one sketch. Actually, no, I did finish the first episode now. By now, I think the first sketch or something, one of the first sketches for season 2, is called Coffin Flop, and I don't want to spoil it, but it was so funny. I paused, laughed for 10 minutes straight, rewound it, like didn't finish the episode, rewound it so that I could watch it again, and then pause it again, laughed for 10 minutes straight, and I was like, I'm exhausted now. I just laughed for 20 minutes
Oh
straight
my God.
about this one sketch called Coffin Flop, which was bananas.
I gotta watch it.
It's basically the joke or the game of the sketch is that there's this guy and he has this show called Coffin Flop, and it's all these outtakes of people falling out of coffins.
Oh
And
my God.
it's so funny. Okay? Like, and I have a very strange sense of humor. Very odd, very dark, very like varied. And this is it's such a simple, ridiculous thing that
Oh my God.
I I'm like, this is the funniest thing I've ever seen.
You know what I always laugh at when you just remind me with the dark humor that I actually, what I do think about and I haven't thought about until you just reminded me of it, is when you and I were gonna do that whole thing about you got a light, and we're like in the middle of the church, like, and I just
Oh
like,
my
oh,
god.
you got a light.
Over the
Like,
candles, the like.
yeah, like over the candles, like
Ah, it's so
just lighting
funny.
cigarettes in like really inappropriate places.
That's
Oh my,
right. Oh my
yeah,
gosh, that's still very funny.
that is funny.
I think that we should write that and do it. But
And I
we
also
would definitely get in trouble, probably.
probably everything gets in trouble now. You're not allowed to have fun doing anything anymore.
Like,
We should do
okay, wait,
that. Let's
ready?
calm down. We're just having fun, okay?
It's like, hold on a second. I want to write down ideas now because it's kind of like one of those things where, oh, I'm thinking about it. You know what I mean? I'm
Oh yeah,
thinking
yeah,
about it. Let me write it.
yeah. I need to write about it. Put it down.
Okay, hold on. I got a pencil. I have a notebook for our show now
Hold on
where I will write down the whiteboard stuff after we're done so it doesn't get lost. And
Okay.
any other ideas. Okay, so got a light.
Got a light?
Okay, so then idea would be the church candle.
Yeah.
I was just thinking, like,
Like how
you're at a barbecue, like it's a barbecue, and it's like an entire fish, and the fish is like grilled, like at a light.
got a light?
Entire grilled fish.
I don't know why I want to like just smoke cigarettes in like really inappropriate places. Not that I smoke cigarettes, like
Is it kind
all
of
the
like the
time.
equivalent of like, oh, let me have sex in this place that it's
Yeah, like
taboo or
something like that. I don't know why. It's not like I want to do it because I just want to do it because it's like who cares, you know?
I
Like
mean
like you just had a baby, you gotta like.
Oh my gosh, like standing outside of a maternity ward or something.
Yeah, no, like in the room, like the baby just came out. Like I asked the baby for like you gotta
Oh
like.
my gosh, asking a baby. Asking a baby. Oh, that's funny.
This is jokes, people. This
These are
is just
jokes. We are
jokes.
entertainers.
We I would never, ever in a million years, ever ask a newborn baby for like. And if you think that I would, then you're crazy.
I'm thinking about like that commercial from the 90s where it's like, this is your brain on drugs. And it's like a pan that she smashes an egg in. And I imagine it like that and like smashing an egg and then be like, do you got a light? Like, and I think it's because I saw a documentary where they said eggs have like the same amount of carcinogens as a cigarette. And it's
Oh,
like,
really?
no. I mean, I don't know, but like, what? It's.
I don't know about that.
I forget which one it was. It was one of those food ones where it's like, toxic environment kind of thing.
Everything gets changed around though. Like they say milk is good sometimes, and then they say it's bad. So like, who knows?
I have no idea.
Who even understands these milk people? Um,
Milk people. I actually
milk,
have my mom's cousin, so I guess that's my cousin once removed,
right?
owns a dairy farm.
Really?
Yeah. There was like 30 cats that lived there.
Oh.
But it would make sense that there'd be a lot of cats on a dairy farm
They were
because
milking. Can you milk me? Can you
no,
milk me?
no, it's not cat milk. I can't believe I have to clarify this. It's not cat milk. It's cow milk. But there were so many cats there,
You
but
said there was a dairy farm, and all you said there was a lot of cats on it. There was no mention of a cow. So it just
I was going to finish the sentence.
okay.
It would make sense that there's a lot of cats there because when you can't like bottle the milk right away, or if there's like too much milk, or if you're like whatever, it's starting to go bad, you have to like let it go down the drain basically. So it's just like
Cats are like, this
cats
is a
are like, hey,
free-for-all.
this is
We
our
get to party.
what? It's like the that seemingly one lake that all of the animals in Africa go to like drink
Oh,
from.
like drinking hole, the water hole.
Watering hole, yeah, but it's a milking hole. Oh, I don't like that.
I don't like that sentence. I don't like those words put together. I don't like it. I don't. I don't like
No,
that.
no, no,
No.
no.
The answer would be no.
But that's
Um,
actually so watering and milking is different. Watering is like you're giving something water. Milking is
right.
you're taking milk.
Wow.
Like watering, like right? Because if you
Yeah, when
were
you're watering grass, you're giving the grass water. When you're milking a cow, you're taking it.
so what is it when you take water from something? Dehydrate?
Evaporate? Um,
Mm.
no. What did you just say?
Dehydrate?
When you're taking water from something, you're dehydrating it. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
So there's
dehumidify.
water. So the opposite of watering is dehydrating.
Yeah, and like dehumidifying.
Dehumidifying.
Yeah, dehydrating. Yeah, it's like it's evaporating the water. So we're all correct. It
English is weird.
is the
It's a
weirdest language.
really, really weird language.
There's so many words.
It's
Why
annoying.
is
It's
it
sometimes
all?
very annoying.
It is super annoying. And then there's three words that are all said the same way, spelled differently.
There and two.
There,
There's
to,
three ways to say two.
more,
What?
your.
Oh yeah,
There's
you.
three ways to say two. There's three ways to say here.
Yeah.
I
I
can't.
started learning in college Mandarin,
Oh,
and Mandarin is this very like mathematical language. Really, it's like all of the nouns will go here, and then the verb will go, it's very easy to. It's much clearer, but
wow.
there's like 2,000 different characters. Like there's no
Are those
alphabet. It's like
the pictures?
sounds and yeah, the like um calligraphy. I want to.
Oh,
It's
okay.
not caricature, is it?
No, I think you're
Character. It's
right.
a
It's
character, Chinese character.
character.
And I mean, I like, definitely like learning the little characters. That was something my ADHD was like, yes, this is extremely tedious. I could do this.
And how do they remember all of them? Like, and
Uh,
everybody's
it's
handwriting is so different. So how do you know you're
yeah.
writing it perfectly?
I mean, I don't know.
I
Cause
guess
I
if
mean,
there's
like it's kind of there's
an
it's.
S or B or something.
I guess it's kind of like. I mean, there must be fonts. I'm saying this in like much ignorance right now, right? I do
But
know like
when you're writing it
when you're
yourself,
writing
like
it,
that,
yeah, when you're doing the calligraphy, it it does have like a pattern as to how you write it. Like every character, you always write it the same. Like it's supposed to be the same flow, kind of like if you were writing.
yeah. Well,
Like
like
there's
when
a
you're
like
doing
there is like yeah
like say hey key, like you're drawing the
yeah
character, or if you're doing like chocoré, it's like it's all one flow. Like it's like a certain flow
right.
that you have.
That's it. There's a certain flow, but
Yeah,
I guess I don't really know how. I don't really know how like people decide
yeah.
on how things are written. I guess.
I guess you get used to it after a while, like the alphabet of anything else. Like if you're learning it long enough, you'll just
Yeah.
get it.
I mean, there's sounds. I do like that with those characters too. Like sometimes you know what the word. You can figure out what the word is because if you know like what the pieces of the word mean.
Oh, you could like try and figure out what it is.
Yeah, it's like because they'll be basic characters, right? Which means certain things like I don't know, fire, man, I don't know, things like that. And then they're like their own standalone characters, and then you put them together to mean something else. That maybe it means fireman. I mean, I don't know. I don't really remember that kind of stuff.
Right.
But anyways, I forgot how I got over here.
Me too.
But
uh,
we can get back.
yeah.
The last thing I wrote was uncomfortable. Oh, well, we were talking about God of Light and like
Oh yeah.
humor and dark humor. I
Oh
definitely
yeah.
have a serious dark humor.
You have to when you've gone through trauma. If you don't have a
Yeah,
good dark sense of humor, then like, have you
it's like
really
I
gone
need that.
through anything?
I mean, I would say yes. I would say
No, I'm
yes.
saying yeah. Oh yes, to you. I'm saying like if you don't have like when you
No,
don't
yeah,
have a
but I know what you mean. Where it's like
yeah.
it's kind of like people who have a dark sense of humor develop it because they're like have lived in this place of darkness where they're like, what's funny?
Right.
Like the worst stuff is funny.
Yeah. It's like that's how you get yourself out of it. Like you got to just laugh at how
Yes. Ooh, that's
awful
really true. I never really realized that. Like that's how you get yourself out of it. I
you
feel
have
like
to laugh.
so when you like meet people who or you like interact with people who don't have like that kind of sense of humor of like darkness. How does it make you feel? Because I get very self-conscious about telling jokes to people that are
Don't
going to
have
be
that.
like,
Ugh.
what?
It makes me feel like I want to turn around and go, well, until you've lived in my shoes and how to get yourself out of your own situation, don't judge me for laughing at these things. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
like you just said the word firefighter. You know what I mean? Like there's firefighters. There's somebody who I just had a conversation recently with who is a corrections officer, and like the stuff that they see and witness and have to go through, like it's so awful that like if you don't laugh or make jokes about these things, like you're gonna lose your fucking mind.
Yeah.
You almost have to make these dark, awful situations like laughable
So
somehow.
so that it
You
like
know,
relieves the stress of the reality
a
of it, which is fucked up.
100%.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of people don't understand that, and they're so like offended by everything so easily. And it's like, well, then
Mhm.
you're a protected little beautiful angel baby that's never had to experience anything horrible. And I'm so grateful for you to not have to be in a space that you don't know what it's like to have to get to that darkness in your brain because you've never experienced it. So
Right.
kudos to you and your beautiful
Congratulations.
congratulations to your clean mind. But for some of us who've gone through some shit, like the way to get yourself to the other side of it is finding the silver lining of like where can I laugh or turn where's the turning point of like laughter or like looking at the best case scenario in this situation.
Yeah.
Because the worst case scenario, you're either already in it or getting worse isn't going to be helpful. So it's like we got to laugh or carry ourselves, drag and click ourselves through this fog.
Click and drag. Just farting your way through the
Through our side
pain.
of the other self. So I don't know. I guess it's I you asked how does it make me feel when somebody tries to do that, and it's like I would probably try to at least try to explain myself to them and be like, you know what,
Yeah.
I'm sorry if you think that's dark humor, but like I've been through some shit and laughter is like
It's
the
like you
only
don't
way
get
to.
it.
If you don't get it, I'm sorry.
Whatever. Yeah.
Like that's fine,
Sorry, not
but
sorry, but also
but
sorry, but whatever.
like when the cathedral burned down in
Oh
France.
my god. How much time do we have left? We have 1 minute 11 seconds.
So when the cathedral, I go to church. You know what I mean. I love my religion. I do. I mean, I love all religions. To be honest with you, I think there's something fascinating about all of them. So I
Did you know
think
I
to
was
each.
a theology minor?
Were you?
I studied religion. Yeah, that was my like.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
But I feel like that is something we should definitely continue to talk about in 2 seconds. But do we have the time?
I don't think so.
This cathedral like burned down, right? And
Yeah.
this was years ago, and I had written a Facebook status at the time before I started really
Oh
like
god.
getting into my practice. And I was still like dark humor about things. I was like, go to church, they said. Light a candle, they said.
Got a light?
Gotta light.
Oh my god. Oh,
And
it's so.
people were getting so mad at me for it. They were like, how dare you? That's so disrespectful to the Catholic Church. And I was like, are you kidding me?
Oh, please. I
I'm
grew
like,
up Catholic.
I'm
They
like, of
can
course.
take it. Let them get joked about. Oh,
Oh.
you know what that means. It means our time today has come to close. Any last words from you, my friend?
You got a light?